What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to Sideline Summit. I'm Antonio Perez, joined as always by Danny Code DC, UPenn's finest, Chris Coacher, CB Coacher Boy. We got another great episode for you guys today. We are going to be recapping the electric Week 10 in the NFL. We did recap Thursday Night Football actually on our last episode, so go check that out. We're on a quick turnaround, really. But yeah, I mean, from the early 9 a.m. game, 1 p.m. slate, and then the very treacherous and boring 4 p.m. slate. We're going to be talking about it all. If you're new here, if you're watching this on YouTube, please leave a like, subscribe to the channel. If you're listening to this on audio platforms, leave a like, 5-star review, download the episode if you enjoyed it, and comment if you can, if your platform allows for it. But always got to get started with Summits and Plummets. Right over to Danny.
Yeah, my summit is actually going to be the AFC North. Steelers win. Browns are on bye. So they're not nothing to be worried about. Ravens win. Bengals lose. So my summit is that the fate of the universe has been restored. And now Steelers Ravens next week will decide the fate of the universe. And Chris, it's rivalry week. I can't talk to you this week. It's okay.
That's crazy.
I'm not playing. We go. Ticket prices for this game are the highest I've ever seen a Steelers game at home. All the ticket prices usually are like $100 to like $250. The get-in prices are like $450 for a Steelers game. I've never seen it that high. It must be because they're that good this year.
Well, we have what could be an absolute classic on the way. We haven't seen good quarterback play in a Steelers-Ravens game, at least from the Steelers side of things, since Big Ben. So
that's why the games have been 17-10 the last 3 years.
Well, that's what that rivalry is all about. If I see you both put up 30 points, then the AFC North holds no meaning to me anymore.
Well, that's what's happening. This is
I don't need. Yeah, it's bad hoops, I'm afraid.
I didn't think the Steelers. Okay, I will say I didn't think the Steelers' offense could get better with Russell Wilson, and it got a lot better. And I don't know if this is coaching. So actually, it's going to be my Plummets going to be pretty hilarious. It's going to be the state of the AFC South. It's so funny.
Well, we'll talk more about all those teams, though.
Yeah, all the teams stink, but I just think it's really ironic. Fall from grace and could even get worse tonight.
Yep. We can go to Chris though.
My summit is that it's been a lot of good sports overall. Basketball's been good, I think, and I think football was really, really good today. I seen a couple upsets, which was cool for me. I called, I think 1 or 2 I might have called. We'll see when we recap, but I was happy to see that. And then I'll say my plummet is the Bucks. The Bucks is my plummet. They have been terrible, and they keep losing. They lost today. I want to say they're 1-7. I want to say, or something like that.
They have a worse record than the New England Patriots.
Yeah, they're really bad right now, and that's my plummet because I think, what do you do? Do you blow it up? I don't know what you do. But they have Darvin Ham and Doc Rivers, so this is what they deserve. So,
yo, ready? Kelly Oubre, Caleb Martin, and 2 firsts.
For Pat Connaughton.
For who? Chris Middleton?
For Giannis.
Yeah. Oh, the good old Lakers trade. My 2 bad players and my worthless first-round pick for your awesome player. What a classic, man. I'm so glad I never had to deal with that. Ever.
Man,
I never had to deal with that.
It is free Paul George for Giannis time at this point. At this point of the year.
I'm so sure, right? How about you trade Joel Embiid? Send him to Boston so he can play with his buddy. You can have Tatum. They've been workout buddies for 8 years, dude.
Oh no, they do work with Drew Hanlon. I was about to say they're before.
Yep. Hence why they're both 3-level demons, and why they may or may not shoot the 3-ball too much. But
hence why they both got the same shot diet. Is what I was going to say.
Nah, Embiid is a little bit better with the diet. But I mean, Tatum should be a little bit more versatile.
That's the only diet Embiid's good with.
Yo, that's crazy. No, but I mean, keep it with Jason Tatum. I mean, he's going to be my summit for the foreseeable future. I mean, 31, 12, and 6, and this was a bad game, to say the least, at least efficiency-wise. Turnovers weren't great, but 31, 12, and 6, bad game. Come on, bro. In a couple months, we're not looking at this game thinking, oh, well, he didn't shoot well. We're like, no, he had a run of like a couple, pretty high-scoring games, and we're just going to keep stacking that MVP case. 15 in Denver don't got nothing on us. That's all I'll say. I don't know about 3 in LA, but we'll get there. Jokic, we need some voter fatigue to kick in for him because voter fatigue aside, bro, he's got it.
His numbers are getting better, dude.
He really got it, bro. He's one of the best I've ever seen. He really is. And then Plummet, the entire Eastern Conference, bad. It's bad. Like, it's so bad. You could drop the 11th seed Dallas Mavericks at 5-4. They'd be the 3 seed. It's crazy. But it's just like the top 2 teams in the East right now are like, they have the 2 best records in the league. It's the 11-0 Cavs and 9-2 Boston Celtics. So,
is this guy Jokic real?
No, he's not.
Bro,
can you ever believe people thought Embiid was better than him? I was
stats,
one of them,
his stats against Toronto: 28, 14, and 13. I mean, and he shot the 3 ball awfully, 20%, 45% from the field. But and then last game against the Heat, 84% from the field, didn't miss a 3, 30, 10, and 14. Like,
yeah, I would say I take his 3-point shooting numbers with like a grain of salt because he's one of the only, sadly, is one of the only true spacers on the team. However, I think the Nuggets are undefeated when Russell Westbrook starts, if anyone cared.
Me too.
It just doesn't stylistically make sense at all. Where does he fit on a basketball court next to Nikola Jokic?
But I think
I watch it. Like I watch it. I'm seeing points getting put up. It still doesn't make sense to me.
But
I don't know.
I think it makes the most sense for a couple of reasons. Now since he's old, he's just a cutter now. So now he can play it off,
dunker spot.
Like he plays it off
the good
like he's Sabonis or something like that. Like he plays off Jokic like that.
Hope he's been watching that. Yeah, I say hope you've been watching the Drew Holiday film. Bro get 14 points. He had an NBA Finals game where he like 16, 18 points by literally just being there off Jason Tatum double teams on the post. On every single episode, you will see me wearing some kind of hat, whether it's a snapback, whether it's a dad style hat. I always got to have something to complete the outfit. And the only place where I get my hats is lids.com. Lids.com has so many different brands, and of course they have a bunch of different styles. Like I just said, it could be dad hat, snapback, it could be fitted, it could be Velcro back. Whatever you want, they got it. And with the NFL season coming up, I know you're going to want to rock and represent your favorite squad. Me personally, I'm a big Eagles guy, and I love this 47 brand throwback hat that I got from lids.com. Or if you're more of a snapback guy, I also got this NBA champions Boston Celtics new era cap from lids.com as well. If you like either of those hats and you feel like you want one to represent your squad, click the link in the description below. Whether it's new era or 47, both links will take you right to lids.com. And the best thing about Lids, they always have some type of deal going on their website. So make sure you click that link and check out any deals they got going on at lids.com. So, I'll say with that being said, we could probably move on to the Week 10 recap. And of course, like I told you guys, we already talked Thursday Night Football. If you want to go hear what we thought on that, go check out the last episode. But I don't know how much, because I would say not the game started, the Germany game started 9:30 for us. I think they started 8:30 for Chris. So did you get to catch any of it at all?
I woke up and saw a little bit of it. I didn't watch the whole thing, but I saw a little bit of it. And then I seen like a couple highlights on Red Zone and stuff.
Yeah. Now admit that Bryce Young and beans is great breakfast.
It is. And
yeah,
Panthers win.
Yep. My second straight week I picked the Panthers for my hot take of the week to get a win, and they're 2-0, and Bryce Young has consecutive wins, and this is just a great place to start. The stat line didn't jump out at you with Bryce Young today, but when you're watching it, Danny, I think he can vouch for this. Again, the stats didn't jump off the sheet, but when you're looking at the Panthers, run game was really good. Chuba Hubbard literally living up to the contract automatically game one. And I'll say just before I dive into any of this, before anyone sits back and say, "Oh well, it's the Giants." Oh well, it's the Panthers. Okay, so I think they're on pretty even footing. Bryce Young, though, I mean, he was throwing, especially in the first half, was throwing with great anticipation, getting some throws off over the middle, which has been a pivotal weak spot for him. He had a really big scramble later in the game. He had a play in the red zone for their first touchdown where he, steps up in the pocket, goes right, throws back slightly across his body. And it's clear development from him. He's getting deeper in his drops so he can really perceive the field. Of course, he's not going to become an amazing athlete overnight, but I think he has the arm talent, and I think he has the smarts to overcome that. Hence why he went number 1 overall. And nobody drafted him because he was a physical specimen. I think he's drafted him because he can be a pretty damn good quarterback. And I think, we're only 2 games back into the Bryce Young experience, but I think he's well on pace to play himself into next year's starting role, and then we can keep moving from there. You'll have another year of Coker and Liggett. You'll have Chuba Hubbard for the foreseeable future. Offensive lines paid. It's something to build there. And then now we can start to look at, okay, we need to start investing in the defense because the defense is horrible. I mean, Daniel Jones made him look great, but yeah, Danny, I know you share completely different opinions on me from this game, but what'd you see from this? Do you want to anything about the Panthers? Did you want to talk about the Giants?
Yeah, I mean, the stat line is gonna tell us true story about the entire game. Was what I'll say. I think the game is like Young's stat line is not that great. He played good football. Probably one of the better games he played in his career so far. He came out of the gate very efficient, slowed down throughout the game. Pretty much what the Panthers sums up the Panthers. So come out decently on sometimes. They come out with a little punch and then slow down. The problem is they're playing the Giants, so the Giants have no punch back sometimes. It's they kind of just sit there and be like a boxing bag, like boom, 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 boom. They're gonna keep getting hit. So yeah. And then they got neighbors. The boxing bag swings back and forth and hits them the one time. So it's the Giants. The Giants are the equivalent of the Browns. The Browns is the Browns. The Giants is the Giants. Should be 2 free wins on your schedule.
I feel like that's not fair. The Browns are the Browns because they are historically a bad team. The Giants are the Giants because they employ Daniel Jones. But the Giants are, historically a better run organization than that.
They are for sure. But I do think that
I don't know. The
Giants
team. Go ahead.
Like I said, the Giants' biggest issue, only issue, isn't Daniel Jones.
But he is by far the biggest issue.
Yeah,
he makes up more than 40% of your cap space.
That's the issue.
He's arguably your worst player, worst starter. Obviously, there's people behind him for a reason.
Daniel Jones, Tobias Harris.
Tobias Harris is a good player. Let's chill. He just got overpaid. Let's relax. Also, Tobias Harris isn't supposed to be the savior for your franchise. I know you wanted him to bail Joel Embiid out all those times he didn't show up in the playoffs. I know, I get it. Daniel Jones is a horrible football player and probably the worst starting quarterback in the NFL. Granted that Deshaun Watson got hurt, so yeah, not much to go on there. But y'all will soon respect Panthers hot take legend. But we can move on to this 1 p.m. slate. I mean, we might as well start game of the week easily. Steelers, Commanders.
Yeah, our preview talked about this game, and it was everything.
Now we get to talk about this game.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do. Dude, floor's yours. I was say, Chris, if you want to go first, that's fine. I was gonna let Danny get the floor, but yeah, Chris, what did we see today?
I would say just a good football game between 2 good teams, down to the wire. Mike Williams made the play of the game, and I think that's probably the biggest addition, the biggest move from any addition right now from the trade deadline. And I think that was just what they brought him there for. A deep ball down the field, one-on-one, give him a chance, and he went up there and made the play. So I think it was really a really good game. I think what we talked about before, Kingsbury kind of calling a good game. I think he called a good game. I don't think it was bad. I think the Steelers just won because I think right now they're just better. I think because they're just more veterans. I think they just know how to pull out some of those close games. So I think that's kind of just what happened today. But like I said, it was just a good football game between two good teams. Pickens continues to look better and better every week with Russell Wilson too. So I think it's just a really good game.
Yeah, and I think I coined this phrase today in my head. I want to start popularizing it. 6-man like Mike Will.
6-man like Mike Will. We're not doing that.
He came off the bench, man. Came right off the bench, took Calvin Austin's spot.
Yeah, but he don't got two girls and they don't get along like he's Lou Will.
Yeah, that's fair. I just thought he came off the bench, made the big play, thinking of Lou Will immediately. But no, sure. like Chris said, Mike Williams was the X factor in this game. And we said it before the show, before the game and the show. Mike Williams is George Pickens light right now. He's just going to go in there and just win a jump ball. And I said that like having a guy like George Pickens across from George Pickens is like Russell Wilson's dream. It's like, wow, two guys can go win jump balls. Like, oh, nice. Come on. That's why you see the guys celebrating after drawing people off sides. And like, I haven't seen him act like this since he was like early years in Seattle. Like, even his later years in Seattle, he was like,
he was happy.
And I'll tell you one thing: the wristband, playing off the wristband. Coach T and Artie Smith, they got him getting right. TJ Watt, he might not have seemed like on paper as a game wrecker. He was getting chipped by the slot receiver and then getting double teamed. When that happens, you get Highsmith coming free. Hopefully he's all right. It looks like an ankle sprain. You got Highsmith coming free. You got Cam Hayward coming free. You got Preston Smith making plays in his debut. So I think that, like, although TJ Watt might not show up on the stat sheet, which he usually does every week, he has, ironically enough, he is Mr. Pass Rush win rate, Mr. Pressure generated man. It's
now it's a good agenda because it's for your guy, right?
I mean, he like I said, he gets double teamed a lot. He's going to win a lot of plays. I do say that the game came down to a pretty controversial call on Zach Ertz first down or not. I do think they got the call correct. When you're coming back to the ball, it's when you fully possess the ball. So he had to get the entire rotation back to get the best first down. Commanders fans can complain if they want. I've seen some people on the internet saying, "Well, he got the first down." There is no guarantee. Zane Gonzalez, the ex-Cardinals kicker in like 2018, is making a field goal. So yeah.
Could have got the ball back anyway. But look, I'm an Eagles fan. Zach Ertz is notorious for just not running his routes deep enough. And that's one of his only flaws as a player. Otherwise, Zach Ertz, he's going to be in Canton. But
hey, Commanders, simple enough. Don't drop the ball in the end zone many times. Don't drop the ball on third down.
Yeah, absolutely.
Catch the ball.
Yeah. I want to give the Steelers defense a ton of credit, especially on the last Commanders drive where you say, TJ didn't have the craziest game. He comes up, I think, on the third down to force fourth down. He smacked Jane Daniels' arm on the release, so for incomplete pass. They gave him a lot of looks. This is probably and another thing is it was just like, okay, Terry McLaurin's going to beat us. Nobody else showed up. They were like, we're just make it a one-man show. We're going to put our young, great corner who didn't have like an amazing day, got a little too physical, a couple flags. No, he was
some of the flags are a little.
No, all the flags were warranted. He's a little too handsy. But they were like, we're going to trust him with that. Everybody else is going to do their job. Sean Elliott, Minka Fitzpatrick, Patrick Queen, and the rest of the crew. I thought they did a really good job. Offensively, Russell Wilson just simply adds a different juice to this team with his ability to put the ball down the field. I mean, 3 touchdowns today. The one to Mike Williams is about as clutch as it gets. And then the the hard count. That's something that, only he's one of few quarterbacks that does just have the mentals, the experience to get up there. I know I got a rookie D tackle right here. I know he's probably itching to get this fourth down stop when after I hand the ball to Najee Harris up the middle, gave him the hard count, game over. And it's really looking good for the Steelers. I told myself, I said, whoever wins this game, I'm buying into them being tier 1 contenders in their conference. Well, I'm not out on that idea for the Commanders just yet. They got another test coming up real soon against the Eagles.
They could be 7-4 real quick.
Exactly, which ain't bad considering what you wanted to going into the year, but you were also just sitting at 7-2 with aspirations of 12, 13 wins. So it's something you got to turn around real fast. Granted, we'll talk about that game when we get there, or when we go to a recap Wednesday or preview Wednesday night. But point is that I think the Steelers, with Russell Wilson at quarterback, due to his experience, his ability to make the absolute most out of George Pickens, who can be a wide receiver one, like a good wide receiver one in this league, I think it can put him on an echelon where they can compete with anybody. Nobody's defense in the AFC is making me think, they probably shut Pittsburgh down. I don't feel that way right now. They've put up 28 points twice. They put up 37 or whatever, 31 points on the Jets. The offensive has looked great. Defense, this is what Pittsburgh football is all about.
They're averaging 30.33 points in Russell Wilson starts.
Exactly.
If I were to tell you under Kenny Pickett that the offense is averaging 30 points, you're like, oh, the Steelers are undefeated.
Yeah, most likely. And the Steelers are damn near undefeated anyway. They have 2 losses on the year.
Bad losses.
Bad loss to the Colts, like very bad loss. And then the other one was
Cowboys. I was at the game.
The Cowboys, 2 egregious losses that I promise you don't lose. Now, not to say butterfly like you'd be undefeated or Russell Wilson, but those are games. I'm just saying those are games Russell Wilson probably wins. No shade to Fields, but Wilson.
No shade to Fields. Yeah, exactly.
It's not a Fields thing; it's a Wilson thing. Like it's more propping Wilson up, not putting Fields down.
I do find this funny. I wanted to note this: the usage of player personnel has changed since Russell Wilson has came on the team. So under Fields, they used a lot of Hayward, and they used a lot of heavy tight end sets, and they would use Scotty Miller a lot. And now, as the season's gone on, Connor Hayward's been out of the game more. I don't even think he played today. Maybe it's due to James Conner being back. I mean, Jalen Warren. Why is it James Conner? Number 30.
Are you reminiscing?
Sorry. I'm reminiscing. He had a good game. Jalen Warren being back. Cordero Patterson. I don't know if it's like they like their other skills better, but under Russ and under Fields, they've kind of been completely 2 different teams personnel wise. So
yeah, I mean with Wilson in, it's kind of no gimmick. We're throwing this rock. So what's the point of going 13, 12 personnel?
13 personnel is so funny to run on like first.
That's an insane thing to run. So it's like, let's stop the gimmick. We'll throw Pat Freiermuth out there because he's a great receiving tight end, and he essentially operates as our 3rd best receiver at all times, sometimes second. I'm second, I guess you would say. Depending on who you ask, I don't know. And then 1 back, whether it's Warren or Najee, and then we rock from there.
And I think we reached the point of time where we can consider Pat Freiermuth a borderline top 5 tight end in the NFL.
He's up there, for sure. Anything else that we want to say about this game before we move on to 49ers Buccaneers?
Nah, 49ers Buccaneers. I'll get us kicked off here.
Go ahead.
I was actually dual screening watching this here. I think that the Bucs are just that much, right? They're that much away. With Godwin and Evans, I think they win this game. Baker Mayfield has the juice. He has every bit of it. I mean, I don't know why Bosa didn't just throw him to the ground. Like they said, he was smiling, laughing at Baker while he was stiff arming him. I don't know. Why.
We know why he didn't sack him.
We know why, but it's like it's almost like the Bucs defense held a pretty potent Niners offense. Whether we want to consider it or not, it's CMC's debut of the season. The Niners offense is good. When all things are said and done, with a CMC and Debo and Kittle, they have star power. And they held them to 23 points, and Baker came down the wire and got its team field goal position, and then they gave up a field goal to win the game. You go to overtime, things might be different. But I think it all comes down to Brock Purdy. I think this all actually, it's been this way the last couple of years actually as well.
Yeah.
Brock Purdy is the deciding factor in the Niners winning or losing. And you're going to be like, no, but what if they have all these players? He needs to be able to distribute the ball. And today he distributed the ball to Kittle, a pivotal fourth quarter touchdown. He distributed the ball really well to all of his weapons, whether it be Ricky Pearsall, whether it be Juwan Jennings. They have weapons. I think their receiving core and their weapons are probably, if not top, as a whole group, probably the best in the NFL.
Yeah, I mean, they're certainly up there. They ain't no Eagles. But, yeah, I agree, especially with the Purdy standpoint. I mean, he did more than distribute the ball. He quarterbacked. He quarterbacked like hell today. So shout out to him. He played a phenomenal game. The Buccaneers, no Mike Evans, no Chris Godwin, has lost 3 straight one-possession games. Not only one-possession games, if they just scored an extra touchdown, which is a lot in the NFL, I know. It's not like they win all these games if they just, if they get the ball first. If they get the ball first against Kansas City, if they, score first in overtime. But I guess that's not really.
Let's talk about this, right? They're going toe to toe with some of the best teams in the NFL.
Yeah,
Niners. The record might tell a different story. I think the Niners are still one like NFC top line competitor. The Chiefs, they're undefeated. This team, Baker Mayfield has his team going down to the wire without any weapons on offense. They've just with K-Dot. So I think this deserves a lot of credit. I think the upcoming schedule for the Bucs could be pretty favorable. They got the Giants, Panthers, Raiders, Chargers, Cowboys. I think they could turn things around.
Yeah, they could. I am better late than ever because they're 4-6 now, so they better get on the run if they want to. Chris, did you get to catch any of this game at all? Did you?
Yeah.
What do you think about Purdy? Pearsall had a big game. CMC's return, all that.
I don't know. I think it's just, for me, I just felt bad for the Bucs because it's like they're going to be one of those good teams that's kind of like have a wasted year, not having Godwin and Evans. Because like you said, they lost 3 straight one-possession games. Now they're 4-6. It's going to take a lot to, still keep them to the playoffs and everything. So I just kind of feel bad for them. And I think the 49ers just looked good with C-Mac back. Just look like they're going to round into form, hopefully. And if they can, they'll, like Danny said, be in those top contenders. Because I think they show, like, when they're all rolling, they getting, like I said, getting Pearsall involved. Debo had runs and catches. I think he was involved a lot today. Kittle had some big catches. Even Jennings. So I think they just look like a well-oiled machine. But it kind of all kind of revolves around what you said, too, though. Like, just around Purdy being able to get them the ball. So, like I said, I think they looked pretty good today against an obvious good Bucs team. So, yeah.
We can move on to another close game involving some NFC South teams. The Saints upset the Falcons 17-20. Carr has his best game in relatively 2 months. Marquez Valdez-Scantling. 3 catches, 109 yards, 2 touchdowns. And then, I mean, what really kills me about this one is Bijan Robinson had his best game of the season. Kirk Cousins didn't even play bad. I mean, he has a pick, but I mean, he throws for 300+ yards. He's throwing it all over the yard. Drake London had a good game. Mooney had a good. It's just like everything clicked. It's just the only thing they couldn't do was put the ball in the end zone.
Yeah,
and it's unfortunate. For the Saints, huzzah! Interim head coach boost. I have no analysis on the Saints, to be entirely honest with you.
Nah. Simple analysis.
Go ahead. Okay, they locked in. They locked in. My bad.
They had Rizzy.
Yeah. We can go with that. Anybody want to say anything about this game though? I mean,
an interim coach boost won out. That's all it was. I think that's all it was.
I'm afraid that's the juice right there. Interim boost.
And it's a rivalry game.
No.
I think that too. That both of those two juiced together. I think both of those. That's what made them win because it was just everything was going right for them, in my opinion. Except for Alvin Kamara dropping that touchdown at the end. That was crazy because that was definitely a touchdown. He had 4 steps.
I mean, I guess I'm not giving the NFC South is so pathetic. Do they even do rivalries? Like, do they even hate each other? I don't know. But yeah, I was like, if we don't have much to go off that, let's talk about potentially one of the most evil men on the planet, Patrick Mahomes. Had this game lost, missed a shot in the end zone, missed Worthy deep down the field earlier in the fourth quarter. Broncos successfully 2-minute drill, get it down in field goal range.
Oh, blocked by James.
Yeah, it's no shocker his middle name is Levon, by the way. Hope you know.
That's insane, bro. Everything goes the Chiefs' way, dude. Everything goes the Chiefs' way. I was about to say I was right finally. I picked a team that was going to beat them. Everything goes
Yeah, that was your hot. That was indeed. I was thinking, like, when they're sending with a field goal, I was like, I should have had the balls. I should have did it. But here's the thing. I guess with this one, though, what makes it feel like truly like they're doing some schemy stuff at Arrowhead is this isn't like a ref thing or some weird, like, oh, he missed it off the upright. It's like, no, they just made a play. The special team stepped up for Mahomes after he messed up. So, and of course, when you're an undefeated team, when you're a great team, you're a dynasty, you got to get lucky sometimes. I think we're getting a pass sometimes now, and probably nearly every game. But good teams make up for other teams' mistakes, and that's what the Chiefs are absolutely elite at. While other teams don't make up on their mistakes, the Chiefs will make sure they do it to you. But Chris, I mean, this was your hot, and it slipped out of your grasp. I mean,
I was about to say, bro,
on this game.
They played me. They played me. I think it was a good game, though. It was the type of game that I thought it would be, a low-scoring game that the Broncos may be able to squeak out. And I was almost right, but it's just the Chiefs found a way, like you said. And I think most important thing to take away from me from this game is Kelsey and Mahomes looking more and more, I mean, like themselves. I'm about to say comfortable, but they're looking more and more like themselves every week. Just connecting every single time. Any third down, dude, is about to be Kelsey or Hopkins. And I think that's what makes it terrifying because at first you knew it was Kelsey. Now you have Hopkins out there too. And like I said, they missed some shots to where this could have easily been a 14-point game Chiefs way. So, like I said, they found a way to win, but I see why I was close. Like it was one of those games that like just murky. Nobody could really get going. I think that was like a game the Broncos could win, but real close one. Like I said, if the Chiefs gonna win these type of games, then everybody can just pack it up because that means it's no way to beat them there.
Yeah. And before I swing to Dan, I did want to say, if
Black
the Broncos
Magic meets Black Magic.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I said, I thought the Chiefs were gonna win, but I was like, if the Broncos could play spoiler, because I don't think there's too many teams in the league that play the Chiefs better than them. It was Bo Nix has to be protected, and he was absolutely protected today. I would say his best game as a pro. And he had, I think it was a third down where they really could have started pouring some points on the board. Hits Sutton in the numbers, hits him in the Broncos that sits above the numbers. He dropped it. And it's just, that's never going to happen with Cortland Sutton again, who has been on a roll these past couple weeks, excluding the Saints game. But Danny, as a fan of top tier double magic for nearly, for 2 decades, double magic when you see it. So thoughts on Mahomes and company?
Bad football game, lucky win. Pretty simple. Travis Kelce, good game. No surprise that it's at Denver, against Denver, one of the most demonic airports. So yeah.
Called their airport evil, dude.
No, it's like a true thing.
Apparently, like lore.
It's like a conspiracy theory that their airport is like demonic. Apparently, like the horse, like there's like a horse from like the Broncos or something in the airport, and you can see his eyes light up red sometimes. People when they say taking off. I don't know. There's a lot of history behind this airport and why it's demonic. But yeah, no wonder why Chiefs played demonic team and almost lose.
Did we want to talk Vikings Jags? I mean,
Nope, that bad football game. Mac Jones,
Good,
anytime touchdown.
good, gutty, muddy, gritty
XFL
win.
kicker. That's all I gotta say. XFL kicker come and save the day. That's all I gotta say.
Let's
Mac
move on.
Jones,
Bills
anytime.
Colts. Josh Allen and Joe Flacco were taking turns throwing the dumbest interceptions you'll ever see in your life. And even though this game was semi-competitive for the Colts, I'm literally why am I one play into the Colts offense and I'm literally already shaking my head. Just play the kid. This team isn't good. Just play the kid, please. But I mean, Allen and company get it done. Allen had a couple rushing touchdowns. James Cook ran pretty hard today. Matt Collins made a really good smart play before the end of the half. I mean, Allen obviously makes a sick throw, a gajillion yards downfield. Matt Collins slide catch, gets up, gets out of bounds. It was a very smooth, great play. Jonathan Taylor continued to do his thing. But Danny, yeah, what do you think from Bills Colts today?
Yeah, I think this takes a hit for Josh Allen's MVP case. He did play Josh Allen football. He looked like Josh Allen here today. He ran extravagantly. He ran hard, trying to bounce off tacklers. But he also threw interceptions. He was taking shots. And I think it's weird. When he plays a team he knows he's better than, he'll play this like wild style like football. Like he'll just be like, let's take a shot here. Well, when he plays the Chiefs next week, locked in. Like dialed in the entire game.
What it's all about, baby.
That's just how he is. So it's so funny, but that's just he's like, I know I'm more athletic than this team. Let me try to run someone over and jump over them.
Come on, man. He said he's not even a right shoulder bump fade guy. Got to try stuff though. Except LeBron did that against a team that had his number all series. But anyway, that explains it perfectly. Josh Allen. It's like I said on last episode. Josh Allen when he sees a team that's worse, he plays like it's his nephews out there. Except his nephews are a little bit older and they're like sneaky nice sometimes. Lamar plays out there like it says grand nefs. Chris, do you have any thoughts on Colts Bills, regardless of where it may be? AD Mitchell had his best game, by the way, if anybody didn't know. But
only thoughts I have is, bro, play Anthony Richardson. That's all. Yeah. I just don't see why. I mean, like I said, it's not like you're. No, I guess they're trying to win and compete, I guess, but I don't think it's really reason to, because even if you can get in there and compete, I don't think you're being the Lions, Eagles, 49ers, or any of those teams. So I think at this point you should just let Anthony Richardson kind of figure out, get his bumps and bruises. Jonathan Taylor's been playing really, really good, and I think if you can put that, like I said, with Mitchell having his best game today and kind of stack Downs continuing to produce, I think they should do that. And I think you just try that out and see what you have going into next year instead of kind of wasting these games, in my opinion. Like I said, more so I think it's kind of just wasting everybody's time. But a good win for the Bills, like I said. Just kind of got a stack, I guess you could say, but this next one is the real test for them. I think this is going to be the Josh Allen, if he's going to be MVP game, Danny. I think this is going to be the next one.
Yeah, this is his chance. Beat Mahomes.
Yeah,
and the perfect season.
I think
the script is handed to you, like essentially. It would be yours to lose.
It just matters one way. We keep forgetting that the NFL loves to push that. What happens in November doesn't matter. It's what happens between December 10th and January 8th. That's what decides the MVP.
Jalen Hurts time.
The last couple of years, Jalen Hurts, he's been playing bad teams and playing bad. So that's why he didn't win MVP. Jalen Hurts was the MVP of the NFL a week from now last year when they played the Bills and they won the Bills week before Thanksgiving. And he walked into the end zone in overtime. He was the MVP of the season.
Yep. Good time.
So
good time.
It's really easy to step back and say, Josh Allen, you can be the MVP if you have a good game. Lamar Jackson, because
time will tell.
Quickly, like you throw a 3-interception game, you're out the combo. You're done. You lose.
Yeah. Let's say Jalen Hurts had a 2-turnover game today, and then in the second half, literally just revived his case entirely. We'll get more to Jalen Hurts. I'm sorry.
You're good. But no.
Let's talk about the last game in the 1 p.m. slate. Bears 19-3 to the New England Patriots. Let's just get the bad out the way.
Everything.
They look bad.
Bears are an absolute mess.
Bears look bad.
The Bears' offense is an absolute mess.
The Commanders, boom, broke their back.
That's truly what it feels like. It feels like they shattered their spirit. 4-2. It's Chicago heading to the bye week. Everything looks great. Caleb Williams playing his best ball, and he hasn't looked good since. He's looked absolutely horrible. And now, while he is a problem, I expect a lot more from quote generational quarterback, number one overall pick. I absolutely expect more. Uh, the effort isn't there from his wide receiver one, and the play calling is absolutely atrocious, and your head coach sucks, and the offensive line is bad, and I can't say, you could see the play calling coming, maybe, but I was thinking, I'm like, oh, this offense is way too talented to let that get in the way. That's on me. Offensive line was going to be bad. I knew that. I didn't think it'd be this bad, though. I also didn't think Caleb Williams would be this bad either. At least these past couple games. But credit to the defense. I mean, regardless of what happens, they go out there, they perform. They didn't do too well against the Cardinals, who we'll talk about in a little bit. Chris, so the Bears now sit at 4-5, and this was supposed to be the desperation game. The Cardinals game was supposed to be the desperation game. What needs to click? What needs to get this team in actual desperation mode?
What needs to click is the buckles on Eberflus's suitcase and get him up out of there. That's what needs to click. No, but I don't know. I think it's more of what I said last time. DJ Moore has to figure it out, bro. Like if you're supposed to be an example, you can't lead. This can't be the example we're following. And I think, and I'm not trying to just blame it on him, but like I said, with a young quarterback, wide receiver one is supposed to be the guy he's supposed to be able to lean on side of the tight end and everything like that, especially when we know the play calling is going to be iffy at best. And I think it's just you need more from your wide receiver one there because, like I said, the defense is giving you a chance every game you're going out there, and the offense is supposed to be the part that's supposed to hold it down. And I think it's just bad showing on a lot of parts. Caleb Williams has to be better for sure. But like I said, like we talked about before a couple of times now, he's not in the Kingsbury situation where they're calling the offense for him. And I think it's something to where it's for him to succeed. I don't really know what they're doing with the offense, but it's not that. So I think that's a big problem. So what has to click is, I don't know. They have to find some desperation because I thought it was going to be in the last two games, but clearly that I was wrong. So I don't know. They have to find some desperation, find something to play for again.
Yeah. I say, Danny, do you have any thoughts on the Bears, or did you want to talk about Drake May, who certainly looked like the better quarterback today, bar none?
Number one versus number three should be number two. Let's just talk about Drake
At
May.
the time, people thought number two. Obviously, I don't know if can't say anybody's been better than Daniels for sure, but
yeah, for sure. I think May is playing the Patriots out of the number one overall pick conversation. His roster is not great, but this guy might be making Gerard Mayo say this team's not soft anymore because he has this effect on the Patriots that Nick Foles had on the Eagles when they won the Super Bowl. And it's going to sound crazy because why am I comparing a Super Bowl champion Eagles team to a 3-7 or 3-8, whatever they are?
I'm more confused why you're comparing a great quarterback prospect to Linsanity Foles, but
no, I think that like when the Eagles won that Super Bowl, there was like people like, oh, everyone knows that the Eagles are playing better under Nick Foles, like blah 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 blah, like the team stepping up around him. But that's so true with the Patriots and Drake May. Like I don't know if he's just better, but like the players around him look like they're trying more. They look like they want to play there. They look like they actually have competitive spirit. When they have Brissett out there, they're just like, nah, we're losing. Like this guy's a bridge quarterback. He sucks.
Yeah, well, I don't even think it's like a Brissett a bad guy because I think from what I hear out of Patriots,
yeah, I agree.
Corner, and everybody's got nothing but love for Jacoby Brissett, and he came in for Drake May after he got that concussion. But I do get where you're getting at. Drake May does need to learn how to slide. He's going to get himself hurt. I love the toughness, even from when you said that Gerard Mayo, Drake May is going to make Gerard Mayo say this team's not soft no more. Don't be so literal, Drake May. That live to see another day because there was a play he got destroyed. It was bad. He took a really hard hit to the head, but he got up and seemingly shook it off. I don't know if Josh Allen brains can, process concussions, but Yeah, that's all I really have from them. We can move on to the 4 p.m. slate. I just wanted to get I don't know about the worst game of the three, but I guess the least. All these games weren't exciting. Chargers Titans. Chargers. I mean, I was split screening this game, but all I really have from that is good team takes care of business. Will Levis looked pretty decent in his return, I would say. No interceptions, which is a good sign. 2 touchdowns as well. Herbert does what he does, hardly any incompletions. We get a touchdown on the board. My running back's going to take care of things. My defense going to show up. That game was over pretty fast. I don't know. Did either of you guys catch that, or were y'all tuned in on Eagles, Cowboys, and Jets, Cardinals?
Kind of flipped through it. Seen most of the same thing you've seen. Not really much to talk about for real. I mean, Will Levis didn't look terrible, which is a step up for the Titans, I guess.
Yeah, for sure.
I feel like I try to talk about the Chargers every single episode, but it's just like, damn it, you play so generic football that I'm gonna just loop it back around to Justin Herbert praise. But I really just want to talk about the team.
It's Michigan football, dude.
Yeah, basically. Except instead of JJ McCarthy, you have one of the 4 best quarterbacks on the planet. So,
yeah, for sure, a top 5 guy. But it's a debate.
4.
Top 4.
4. 4. 4. I'm not. He's over Burrow for me. So 4. 3, I say. I won't speculate who we take it over. I'm just talking about my ass. Let's talk Cardinals. Cardinals Jets. We also were talking about how the Jets. It's time to get desperate.
Season's over, buddy. Season's over.
It's over. They didn't play with an ounce of desperation today. One of the most pathetic Jets losses I've ever seen, and I've seen a lot. I've seen a lot of pathetic Jets losses. This one might be up there. But not to be a Debbie Downer, we knew the Jets suck. We kind of knew that going into this game. And if you thought otherwise, you were a little delusional. But the Cardinals, Danny, talk about our guy, man.
6-4. I know we were talking about the Cardinals before the season. I was like, well, Kyler Murray winds up getting them 11 wins. He could be talking himself into the MVP case. He's not winning MVP.
Yeah.
Yeah, but this guy has
Gannon, Coach of the Year.
I think Jonathan Gannon probably Coach of the Year. I think you know what I said? I said the Cardinals could have a top 5 offense, and I think this proves everything. Let's look at their offense output. The Cardinals. Yeah. The Cardinals games this year, they put up 31 against the Jets, 29 against the Bears. Pretty good defense. 24 and beat the Niners. Bad showing against the Commanders. We put up 14. But they've been competitive in a lot of games, and I think this is probably the best showing so far to date.
Absolutely. Yeah, we're looking at 400 yards of offense.
No doubt, their best game is against the Rams. Sorry, they put up 41.
Yeah. Well, I mean, if you, I would even say if we're factoring, let's say the Jets were actually desperate and the Cardinals just make them not, made them actually depressed. Good game. But
yeah, it's Kyler Murray, efficient football, 22 of 24. Marv got Marv involved. When you have Kyler Murray playing efficient football, you lost the game.
Yeah, I mean he's absolutely feeding everybody.
And it's not even about what do you mean? It's this guy extends every third down. He's gonna get first. He's just gonna break your spine. And as a defense, you need to learn how to respond. And you can't make mistakes because he will make you pay. And I'm not gonna predict them to win a playoff game, or I'm not gonna predict them to win the NFC West. But they're in conversation at this point.
Yeah, I agree. The offense was amazing today, and the best part about it is what we talked earlier about Purdy, being a distributor. Kyler Murray got everybody involved. Trey McBride is one of the best tight ends in our game, bar none. He got, a lot of targets. James Conner was involved in the pass game, which is great to see. Marvin Harrison was involved in the pass game. And like you said, Murray's ability to just never say die on a play while also not being filled with mistake-free football is the best combo that you can ask for. And you know, they're I truly think we're on the way to Jonathan Gannon Coach of the Year at this rate. And I never thought I'd be saying that, but he's got his team at 6-4. He has this like lackluster name of defense, like showing up every week. At the very least, they're showing up. And then Kyler in this offense, they've got things rolling. So, Chris, thoughts on Kyler Murray being? Never mind. I was going to say thoughts on him being better than Lamar Jackson.
that would have made me cry. You know what it is though. You know what it is for Kyler Murray is different between having Kyler Murray and having Daniel Jones. Now Kyler Murray elevates the ones around him. Now I'll say the Cardinals offense may be better than Giants, but not by like leaps and bounds. But I think it's just a difference of having a special type of talent at quarterback and then just having like a regular guy. When it comes to, like I said, feeding the guys on your team and making sure everybody's involved, Kyler Murray does it a little different to where it kind of raises the level of the offense that you have. So I think it's just a really good game by the Cardinals. Like I said, it should have been a desperation game for the Jets. They should have came out and fought with more, but I think the Cardinals kind of put it to rest early. So I didn't really give them a chance. So shout out to the Cardinals. And like I said, they've been playing really, really, really good football. So, and Kyler Murray, if he stays on this track, I'll be making those top 7 conversations soon. So
he'll absolutely be back.
I love a good
He'll
dual
be
quarterback
back in those talks.
You know that.
I agree. When it's funny when you said special talent versus like regular guy, it's like, well, when you say regular guy for Daniel Jones, I'm thinking like just regular dude.
Yeah,
not not regularly skilled quarterback. I'm talking like regular dude. You could find him at like Wall Street or something.
Because like even the plays that Daniel Jones makes, like he ran a couple and like extended a couple third downs. I'm like, like it just didn't really it didn't move me at all. Like I just wasn't moved. I'm like,
hear me out. Daniel Jones has a future in this league. Tight end
coaching.
Got the size. No, don't want him coaching my players. He's got the size, athlete, but not athletic enough to where like, oh yeah, that's for sure a white tight end who's a little stupid and probably can't break a tackle. Just saying. Speaking of tight ends, Theo Johnson, the truth. But yeah, I would say let's talk about a different a bird of basically the same feather today. They also got a 31-6 win. The Philadelphia Eagles. While turnover prone, sack prone first half for Jalen Hurts, easily bounces back with 2 touchdown passes, 2 touchdown passes, 2 rushing touchdowns.
I will say this is more good game from. This is more bad game from the Cowboys than good game from the Eagles.
I would be inclined to disagree. This is just what the Cowboys defense is. I hate to break that to you.
Offensively.
Well, what do you mean? Like the Cowboys were bad on offense, so it was a good. I don't know what you're trying to get at.
Like all I'm trying to say is the state of the Cowboys. Like the Eagles should be taking care of business. It's a good. It's a division rival. But like they should be taking care of business.
Yeah, and they did. So that's why we're talking about it. But the point is, their defense was actually the healthiest it's been all year, and I believe they just let up the most points that they did all year, besides the Ravens. But they might have got more. Anyway, point is, Eagles got right back on track after 2 bad quarters of football. Jalen Hurts got right back on track in the second half. A.J. Brown, big day, 109 yards. Dallas Goedert got a touchdown. Rookie Johnny Wilson got a touchdown. And Saquon Barkley actually picked up his first touchdown ball that he dropped. So shout out to Saquon for being a great teammate. Danny, praise my linebackers right now. I'm just playing. What'd you see from the game?
Zach Bond. I told you when the season was starting, I said this guy's going to be an impact player in the team. You're like, no,
because that's not what you said. That's not what you said.
I did. I said
no. You said, he could be like an underrated signing. He could be like pretty solid for you guys. You didn't say he could be an impact player. Stop trying to take credit. Stop trying to take credit. What's going on? Every time that I predict something and it goes way better than I thought, I immediately say I can't say I can take credit for that. I thought it would be something else. Good, not this good. You need to learn how to do that.
I didn't think Baldwin was going to be like all pro. Or he's almost on an all pro level.
Best linebacker.
I didn't think he'd be this good. No, he's not better than Fred Warner. Relax.
Better than Fred. Who's that Fred bum
Fred
anyway?
Warner. Fred's the best in the league.
Not Zach Bond.
But no, Zach Bond plays hard. It's unfortunate he had to play for the New Orleans Saints for so long because that team stinks.
Made him an edge rusher, dude.
Like, yeah, I don't know.
So there's a portion of Saints fans where they were like, we really liked him. It was just he was always kind of misused in the Dennis Allen defense, so it's a shame. Zach Bond, man, shout out to him.
That's why DA got fired. So I think the reality behind this is Quinyon Mitchell and Cooper DeJean. People were hating on both of them when they got drafted. Now they don't.
Yeah, absolutely. And I want to say I was hating on them dudes. I would say I preferred guys over Quinyon, and I preferred a different position for Cooper DeJean. But it's clear the work has been put in. I don't know. I guess it's good that Quinyon Mitchell went to Toledo because if he went to anywhere else, he would have been way gone before the Eagles picked him up. So
he would have been a top 5 pick. So
yeah, I mean, he's not a defensive lineman, so he might not be able to get away from Jared Verse, but this would be my defensive rookie of the year.
No, he's defensive rookie of the year. He's going toe to toe with every wide receiver one.
They're gonna hoe him, but is what it is. Is what it is. And Cooper DeJean would relatively actually be up there on my ballot as well. But of course, games played, you got to knock them. So, Chris, what did you? Not much to take away from the Cowboys. But if you want to add anything about the Eagles, if you want to say anything about the Cowboys, I actually have one more note on the Cowboys, but I want to let you go first.
I don't know. It's just like the Jets, the Cowboys season's over too. I think the Eagles handle business like they were supposed to. Because this is one of those games we could easily let Cooper Rush get that interim quarterback juice and lose or do some mess like that. And I think the Eagles took care of business. Like I say, even with a rockier start, they took care of business. I think it's what they needed to do. And I think you kind of got some good reps for a lot of people who are going to need to be rolling when the time really matters. I think this is one of those games to kind of build off of. So, like I said, I didn't see anything from the Cowboys. But I also didn't expect much from them anyway. Like I said, this season's over. So, yeah, that's probably it for me.
Get ready to learn Cancun about 2 hours.
You better get ready and learn Arlington, Texas. Get ready and learn it.
Yeah. But I did want to say, there was a point in the third quarter, it might have been late third, early fourth. Cowboys another third now. I'm like, okay, Cooper Rush is horrible. Can we just get Trey Lance? Like, I don't want to see Cooper Rush for the rest of the game. Let me see Trey Lance. He gets him for 2 plays and they subbed him out. I'm like, what was the point of that? And then Rush fumbled, and then Lance was back in for the rest of the game, but kind of a similar Richardson's situation coming out of college always reminded me of Trey Lance, where it's like, yeah, this is a raw prospect, but he's so raw. He just needs to play football. Like the mental notes, especially consider who they're sitting. Trey Lance coming out of the draft, he would have been. What was he going to learn from Jimmy Garoppolo? Play the kid. Okay, I get it. Y'all thought y'all could win a Super Bowl in that moment, but Jimmy Garoppolo was never winning you a Super Bowl. You'll get there, you're not winning it. But now, to this point, okay, what do you get from playing Cooper Rush? You're 3-6. You're not making the playoffs. Dak's out for the season. You have no shot. Let the kid play. Bare minimum, you find a guy to avoid having to not pay Dak. If that's what I'm trying to step into the mind of Jerry Jones real quick. I bet you can imagine what I'm trying to go through. So you play Lance. He plays good. You don't pay 32-year-old post-hamstring Dak. Or he plays good, and a team that is in a bad quarterback spot but might not want to indulge in this quarterback draft will invest in the 22, 23-year-old Trey Lance, who's going to be the same age as a lot of the quarterbacks coming out of the class this year. So, like a team that might fall in between.
Like the Giants.
The Giants, even though I think a lot of their fans want Cam Ward. I think they'll be drafting a quarterback. But let's say they don't. Let's say, maybe this class isn't their cup of tea or whatever it may be. Take a flyer on Trey Lance if he looks good, man. I mean, he's an incredible athlete. I think he's got a great arm. I think it's all a matter of just he needs to play football games. He needs more reps. And of course, it's notorious that he just loses backup quarterback battles to guys he shouldn't be losing backup quarterback battles to. But that was my last point on him. I really would like to see him with a future in the NFL. I think he's a superb talent, and he's certainly better than Zach Wilson, I would say. But yeah, that's pretty much everything on the agenda, I would say. I guess we would have to quickly, we could preview Monday Night Football, Rams, Dolphins. I already thought the Dolphins season was over at this rate. So the only thing I have to add is Rams hopefully can get a win and make the NFC West even more interesting.
Yeah, I don't see much. I don't think if the Dolphins win, I don't think it's like, yeah, season saved. I don't know, and I also don't believe in the Rams as much. So I'm not really looking forward to much from Monday night. Hopefully, Tyreek Hill gets a touchdown though, because he hasn't literally been in the end zone in 15 weeks.
Puka sunning Jalen Ramsey's on the agenda. Know that? Oh yeah. And don't worry, listen, fans. My apologies for being told, or the apologies I will be receiving for being told Garrett Wilson was better than Puka Nacua at the glorious game of football. They'll be on the way. Don't worry. Guy's not better than Puka Nacua. No shot. But yeah, anything else y'all want to say about this about Week 10 before we get up on out of here? Big trust. Here we go. Fly Eagles fly.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see you soon, Danny. That's all I'm saying. We'll see y'all. We'll see y'all soon.
Who dat? Hail to the Commanders. That's a banger. Like we're talking about like the best like fan like sayings or team slogans. Hail to the Commanders is tough, and if they said hail to the commies, it would go even harder.
I even know they said
fly Eagles fly, flock Ravens, or Ravens flock, however you want to flock. It's just flock. Skull Vikings, like who dat. Man, fans are tough. They're really creative for that. But all that being said, before we get out of here, just again, reminder, leave a like, subscribe to the channel if you're new. If you're listening to audio, leave a like, 5-star review, comment, download the episode from AP New Freezer, Culture by Amigos, DC Comics. Thank you guys for tuning in, and we'll catch you guys Thursday morning.
Salute Darvin Ham.